It's Thursday night. It's 9 p.m. This is the S Rank Media Club. I'm Colton, joined by Quinn and
Oh,
Kudrow.
Voltron
yeah.
City.
Every time I forget to do this.
Quinn,
Although
I
speaking of, something that didn't happen today that I just thought about, Colton. There's no
well,
tech difficulties.
we don't need to bring that up
Yeah,
just
it's
because it
impressive.
works as it's supposed to.
Yeah, I'm almost disappointed by that.
So, okay, one thing I can tell you is during the move, like right before I moved, the last day before we moved, my computer, I went to turn it on and it like aired out and it just went to a black screen and wouldn't turn on. I was like, shit. Packed
Be
it up,
safe.
loaded it up here, started right up, hasn't had a problem since. So,
Nice.
I don't know. I named my computer this time around. I named it Meteor because at any point it could crash down to Earth and explode. That's the
It's a good
way
name.
that's the way I view my current computer
It's
Windows
just-
setup.
Mhm.
It's just the
Appropriate.
magnetic field changed when you moved.
Yeah, I don't want.
You moved further away from the pole. So
Yeah. So what's been happening the last week?
it's a good question.
My Persona hours did not go up by very much. I got to play a little bit. I did a bunch of IKEA shopping and putting together like IKEA closet organization.
Oh, that's the worst.
But it's not all done. So there's just been like piles of clothes that probably won't be resolved until this weekend when I do the rest of the IKEA closet stuff. Yeah, so
Those
that
little
was
pins, I hate those in the IKEA.
yeah,
things
little
that you have to
pegs.
build.
Yeah.
So they're my nightmare.
Mhm. Yeah, so I played some more Persona. I'm getting there. The other thing is I started playing Pokemon Sword, the first Pokemon game I've played since Gold and Silver, and I've only played like a couple hours, but it turns out Pokemon's just kind of fun. Because there's all the complaints I remember with Sword, like it's got shitty graphics and it has all, and the graphics are terrible. It's so muddy, but I don't care. It's like then I was like, then this little weird fucking blue bird Pokemon showed up. I'm like, this thing's cool as fuck. And then I caught him, and it like you just playing Pokemon. I don't need it to be perfect, you know. So I think what I learned quickly is like I don't really care that the graphics are terrible. Pokemon's still fun, so we'll see how far that gets me. But I've just been kind of, I don't know. I've been feeling the itch to play some of those games, some of those Nintendo games that I'd wanted to play, but just never really got around to. And I got an OLED Switch now, so I'm back on the Switch.
Kudrow, I think Colton has a little too much respect for Nintendo.
That's true.
I don't think it approaches his respect for Apple, though.
Oh my gosh. I'm on a Windows computer right now.
That doesn't explain the rest of your hardware in that place.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean to start something.
I'm kind of an. I mean, if anything, I'm more of a Nintendo fanboy than any of the other producers. I think. I don't know.
You don't think Nintendo owes us a little more?
Oh yeah, no, they should.
Oh,
They should make the graphics better. But the problem is, I'm not saying. I guess my point wasn't. Oh, they should keep making shitty graphics.
Oh, okay.
My point was, it's
sorry.
like it's still fun, and I wasn't like, oh, I don't want to play this game because of this. Like it, I don't,
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
The Pokemon models look all right. The rest of it looks like mud.
I mean, as long as they've shackled themselves to the hardware of the Switch, I mean, or you kind of get what you get.
Yeah, I mean, part of it. This is what Nintendo's always done. And before it, you could argue it's like an accessibility thing at this point because the price range for other consoles is like, isn't it almost double? If you're looking at
For
the
the
lower
top
end
of
of
the
the
line.
Switch, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess the
about.
Series S you can get pretty cheap,
Series S is like 3 something, I think.
but I just like had forgot. I hadn't played my Switch much in a while, and it's like I forget how like nice it is to sit there with that handheld. It's so much better than any other handheld I've used. But I
Maybe
guess
should
that's
try that.
why it's amazingly popular. Yeah, I was just sitting in bed playing Switch last night, and it was a joy.
Maybe I should do that. We have to finish the Zelda game.
Kudro, for your upcoming trip, are you stocked up on Switch games? Did you get some new ones?
I'm probably not taking the Switch.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Actually, one of the things I was dusting off was my Game Boy Advance. I still got games on that I haven't touched that I thought maybe I'd take
Quinn,
some of those with me.
Is it an
Quinn,
SP?
Quinn, remember when we talked about how Kudro's backlog goes back to the PlayStation 2? I further evidence right here. He's like, oh, I'm not taking the Switch on my trip. I'm going to take the Game Boy Advance because my backlog is so big. I'm still playing Game Boy Advance games. I'm hoping to get to the 3DS sometime in the next 5 years. But,
I will never. I'm not going to buy a 3DS.
You might be a little late on that because they just turned out off the store.
Well, 3DS is like I don't know if you guys noticed, but 3DSs are actually more expensive now than they were full price when they were in stores.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. But yeah, I mean, I got plenty of hours of RPGs on that to keep me preoccupied. It's a lot smaller, so it just fits in my pocket.
Do you have a light?
Put this one away as evidence.
Do you have a light attachment for it?
Well, I mean, it would be the SP. So
it was the SP. Okay.
It would be really funny if you like subjugated yourself to a non-SP at this point. You're like,
I mean, I have both, so I could.
Like a little worm light up on the top.
That's what I had. It was garbage.
Yeah, it was. But I might do that.
I remember trying to play it at night using the street lights. You're holding up to the window in the car, like.
Oh, that was terrible.
Give me some light.
That backlight was a sorely needed upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you guys play anything else this week?
Oh God, I watched. I played a little bit of played a little bit more Wolong.
Oh yeah.
You know, funny thing about that game, with the way that the first boss went, I really thought this was going to be a much harder game than it's turned out to be.
Mm-hmm. But it's not as hard after that.
Yeah, it kind of. I don't know what it is. I have not found Wolong particularly difficult. There's only one boss since the first boss that took me more than 2 tries to beat.
Do you think it's like once you get their parrying system down, there's not much other variant, so it just becomes repeating that? So the first boss, you get good at it, and then you can just kind of plow through the rest, or
it's kind of what it feels like, honestly. I mean, you still gotta memorize like attack patterns and such.
Sure.
There are some, and if you get careless, you can get wrecked. But I can't say I found it. For me, it hasn't been that difficult.
I gotcha.
Like Neo and Neo 2 felt a lot harder than what Wolong's turned out to be.
Yeah, it's gotten pushed out of my schedule. I don't know when I'm going to play it.
I mean, hey, the game is still good. I'm having fun with it, so I definitely recommend you get back to it. But yeah, I haven't. It hasn't been that bad difficulty wise.
Gotcha.
What about the story?
I mean, it's Three Kingdoms China. I'm not that familiar with it, and so the story is. I mean, if you're familiar with that period of history, you'd probably have a greater appreciation for it.
I feel like it's not like, no matter what the story is, like the way it's presented in the portion I played, it's not very gripping or like well dialogued. And that was only the first couple hours or whatever up to that first boss. But so maybe it gets a little better, but it just felt very flimsy from what I played.
I don't completely disagree. The story is it's forgettable. I mean, I'm playing it for the combat, which is I mean, the gameplay is really good. So
right, fair enough.
The build variety and things like that. I mean, yeah, combat system's great. Stories, meh. But that's kind of what Team Ninja does.
Quinn, what do we have on the weekly competitive shooter minute?
You know,
all right, I'm out.
Oh, I got some.
What, did you have more, Kudro? What were we talking? What else were we talking about?
No, because he doesn't like multiplayer games, so he's got to shut his brain.
Oh, he's out. Oh,
this is
I
true.
See.
I mean, I do have more I can talk about.
All right, Kudro's out.
All right, good show, guys.
Kind of disrespectful there.
Anyways, the weekly competitive shooter minute.
Still can't still can't rank up in Overwatch, and still stuck in Silver 3 in Valorant. So that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah, got some nice elo in Valorant, but that's about it.
What do you got?
One more thing. Last thing. I bought The Last of Us for PC.
Dude, I heard it's really bad.
I didn't even play it, but I just saw a story pop up about something about like the bugs or something like that.
So
it's like,
did you buy it before you saw that?
Yeah, I just bought it the day it came out. Like, oh, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, it looks.
So I guess I'm gonna wait to play it.
It like, I guess that's kind of a game that like I hear stuff about it, and like it's not that it sounds bad. I've just kind of ignored it. Now that it's on PC, maybe I should take a look at it.
I just heard it's really good.
Yeah,
the story's really good, and I want to watch the show. So, and I'd rather watch the show or play the game before I watch the show. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll wait a little bit before I start playing that one. But I'm excited to play that.
So did you guys watch the last Nintendo Direct with the Zelda stuff, the 10 minutes of gameplay?
Yep, I saw that.
I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a few clips.
I mean,
it seems like they're giving you a lot more, even more creativity than the first Breath of the Wild had and flexibility of what you're able to do in the game.
Yeah, it seems really interesting. Like, it seems like there's some potentially cool stuff in there, and it feels like they kind of like said some stuff, but you don't really. They don't want to give away the full context of the stuff because it feels like some of that stuff's going to be utilized more. Probably, I feel like I feel like they're not saying everything. But the other side of this is there's people online that are big mad about the map, Kutro, because
it's the same map, right?
Same map, and they're upset.
What would they expect? It's a direct sequel. Is the game world supposed to undergo this dramatic change? Do they expect Hyrule to get hit by a meteorite?
Yeah, I don't know, but
topography.
Well, a lot of it has changed. Like, I watched some comparison videos. I think like IGN had like a comparison video, and it did look different. Like, there's definitely a lot of stuff that's changed, but I also don't think it's fair to just look at the map and say, okay, this plus 10 minutes of gameplay, like, oh, they didn't do anything to change it. Like, it seems like a wild jump to conclusions. Like, file this under why people hate gamer culture, because they've seen 10 minutes of gameplay, and now there's a massive mob on the internet that's saying this game's terrible, it didn't update anything. And it's like, nobody's even played the fucking game yet, and it's already been like under assault about the map. Like, there were people saying on Twitter talking about how other games did better with maps, and in the game's not. They've seen 10 minutes of gameplay, and it's like it's like the most typical gamer thing I could think of to become outraged about. You know
why I don't pay attention to Twitter.
Well, I mean, YouTube comments. It's there too, but I just think like, there could be so many interesting things there that they could do that we haven't seen yet. So I just feel like we have to wait till the game comes out to see.
I mean, even if the map was completely unchanged, the fact that you can interact with it and do things and in different and unique ways that you weren't able to do before, is still interesting. Could still very well be interesting in its own way. So
right. So how many of those people are still going to go buy the game? Probably a lot of them.
All of them.
Yeah. Like.
I already said I'll probably playing it day one. So
it was like, people rank it as their favorite video game of all time, don't they?
Yeah, I'd put it up near the top of mine.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no way so many people don't buy it. Especially those people that are complaining about the map.
It's and then
because they care about it. They care about it to say their opinion, so they care. They're going to get it.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. We'll see. Nintendo does whatever the fuck they want, whether it's good or bad. So
right, that's true.
We'll find out in 5 weeks if
point.
it's any good.
Yep.
I guess another thing related to that this week. So there was the special edition console for Zelda, which I I did pick up one of those for my wife. That's her going to be her new OLED. But also this other one came out. It was just a Diablo 4 special edition for Xbox, and it's literally a plain Xbox Series X with Diablo for the same price as an Xbox Series X plus Diablo. So it just made me think about like collector's editions and how they've like it used to be you'd get like a bundle and you'd get a discounted game, and now like it's just full price. And with the Nintendo ones, you don't even get the game with it. Have you guys ever bought special edition consoles before?
I bought one.
Did you
Switch?
Did you buy it because it was available, or did you specifically wait like for that version of the Switch to come out?
I bought it because it was available and I thought it was cool.
Gotcha. Yes, I mean that's the way mine is. Like I bought an OLED too, and I just bought the Pokemon one because I liked it, and I'm like, oh, that's available.
Yeah, I bought like the Mario themed one.
Oh, gotcha.
I forget what game I got with it.
So that one did
I
come
want to say
bundled with the
I
game?
want to say golf, but I may be wrong. Mario Golf.
Oh, gotcha.
I might be wrong though. But yeah, it's pretty much looks like a regular Switch. It's just a different shade of red, and then there's like Mario and on the screen thing.
Yeah, a lot of the special edition Switches, it's mostly the Joy-Cons, I feel like. Which, I mean, the
Yeah.
front of the Switch is all just screen, so.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the Joy-Cons are like a little darker red, like a Mario red,
Yeah.
versus the kind of neon red, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's three different red Joy-Cons.
There is?
Yeah, so the Pokemon one is a scarlet color.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's all the interesting news I had for the week.
One more thing, the OLED screen, is it worth it?
Oh boy, to me it is. I mean, obviously if you play docked all the time, it's not going to be worth
Doesn't
it. 'Cause,
matter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I would say it's way better playing undocked with that OLED. I had the one I was using before was a Switch version 1. So it was not the upgraded battery Switch, but the original version of the Switch. So I was upgrading from that to the OLED, and it's definitely not like you would have to, but it's nice. I like it because I was comparing it to the other screen. It's like significantly bigger and more colorful and brighter.
Right.
So yeah, I like it, but it's like you get into the thing where it's like, okay, you're buying a Switch, but they're coming out with a new one next year, or potentially end of next
Right.
year. You might see the next Switch. And the other thing I thought about is, would I even necessarily buy that new Switch right when it came out? I don't know that I would. Like if they came out with a game I specifically wanted, maybe. Like,
Mhm.
is it going to be Metroid Prime 4 is on the next Switch? That doesn't seem like a launch title necessarily. You'd think they'd go with like the next Mario game or something.
Right.
So, I like it, but again, it's like what, 350 for the Switch hardware, which, but the screen's nice though. So to me, it's worth it because I want to play it in handheld mode.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a luxury purchase, I guess, to upgrade it.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, if you play the Switch online, it does come with an Ethernet port right into it. The base Switch doesn't, so that's nice. Other than that, you also get more hard drive space with the OLED. I think they doubled it from like 32 to 64.
First
So,
of all,
I guess
if-
that's also something, but
if-
still pretty trivial overall.
yeah, if you have a Switch, you need to get yourself a micro SD card quick.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe.
That was the first thing I got was the micro
I'll think
SD
about
card.
it. I like the cartridges.
Yeah, he's just got a whole case of games.
Yeah.
Something that I was been kind of reading reviews on different Switch models and stuff, and
Mhm.
looking stuff up before I had bought this one over the last week. And it's wild. Like it seems like there is a strong contingent of Switch users that are using cartridges. And I like
That's hilarious.
and it's cool, I guess, whatever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just when I think about like having to carry around like 10 cartridges instead of just having them all downloaded onto my micro SD, it's maddening.
So it sounds like you do care, even though you said you don't care.
No, I don't. It's not like other people doing it like makes me mad. It's like when I think of Mirror Unit, I'm like, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I just feel like there was like a surprising contingent of it seemed like people using cartridges.
Like cartridge purists.
Yeah, cartridge purists.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the actual name that people call them, but I'm sure there's a name out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you guys got?
Oh, I was meaning to ask Colton, did you actually watch John Wick like you said you were going to? Celebration of John Wick 4 coming out?
No, I didn't say when I was gonna watch it.
I'm disappointed. I did watch John Wick 4, by the way.
Oh, was it what's Kudrow's 3-word rating?
3-word rating? Isn't this an S rank? Don't we give it in like letters?
Yeah, but never mind. It's okay.
Oh, you just want the it's not bad. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
No, I mean it's solid. I mean, John Wick still has the best action scenes of like any franchise you're gonna watch. So it'll probably be the standard from which I compare every action movie I watch going forward.
Gotcha.
You don't think they're doing too many John Wicks?
I don't know. I mean, this is the oh god, how do I say this without getting into spoilers?
Ooh.
Yeah, just don't say anything.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, 4 movies is still a decent amount for a franchise, right?
Quadrilogy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's what they call it, but
Yeah, if they continue this exploring the world in the franchise moving forward, they'll probably be doing something a little different.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, definitely good. Definitely a good movie.
I think John Wicks were on HBO Max, but I think they just recently all left because the 4th one was coming out.
Shoot. All right, I can tell you if they're available anywhere.
I may be wrong.
They are. It's available on Peacock. That's just the first one, though. The first one came out in 2014, so like a movie every 3 years. It looks like is what they're tracking.
It's not
Yeah.
bad.
All right, should we do this ranking of episode?
Let's do it.
Get it over with.
Wow. Wow. Is one of you guys doing the recap?
We really did not discuss that before the show. We probably should have. But...
Okay. I don't have a concise one I made, but I have a general one that I did not concise down. We can just, if you want me to start, we can just kind of go through it. Unless one of you guys wants to do it.
To be honest, I kind of lost focus on the movie while I was watching it a couple times.
I don't even blame you.
All right. I'll carry. I can carry us through this one.
All right, go for it.
I'll do the next one. I'll take a rain check.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so let's get our stuff ready.
It's just, I don't know. It's one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I got all my recap notes here, so I can just kind of go through it. Okay. All right, this is Ranking of Video Game Movies, Episode 11, Resident Evil Apocalypse. I'm Colton, joined by Quinn and Kudrow.
Hey, guys.
Yo.
So, this movie, the sequel to the previous Resident Evil movie in 2002, this one came out in 2004. Also starring Mila Jovovich.
You got it right there.
Anyways, the movie starts by basically recapping what happened in the first movie with the hive and Alice surviving and getting out. And then she comes into a city that is an outbreak of a zombie outbreak. So this movie kind of goes through the whole thing where Umbrella is trying to contain the outbreak in the city. As the outbreak starts, panic ensues in the city. Then we get to introduce some of our other characters. We have Jill, who is some sort of STARS officer, some kind of police force. So then she barges into the police station like she knows what's going on. Umbrella then eventually says this is a contamination zone, the whole Raccoon City, and nobody can leave. And they basically lock everything inside the city to seal it off to contain the outbreak. There's a guy named Dr. Ashford who's some high up at Umbrella. He oversees a division there, and his daughter is inside the city. So he's trying to get a hold of his daughter, but they're saying the city's sealed. So he then is like trying to hack into the systems to get a hold of somebody to help find his daughter. While this is happening, Alice ends up meeting up with a group of other people. Eventually it ends up where we have the Jill, a police officer, a reporter. They run into some monsters, some super monsters, kills off some people. Eventually we get to the point where we have Alice together with Jill, and while this is happening, the Nemesis program is getting activated, and you got the Nemesis, who was the other guy who survived from the last movie, went and got turned into a super monster by Umbrella, and now he's roaming around trying to hunt down the STARS police officers, which I don't know if the movie ever tells you who STARS is or why they're important, but Nemesis is hunting them down and also hunting down Alice. And they eventually come to a fight where Alice has to fight the Nemesis monster, but he like has some thoughts that go back to his original self and not the Nemesis, and he doesn't kill Alice. And he kills all the people that are trying to capture her. Before that fight, a point I missed here. Everybody converges to this school where Dr. Ashford's daughter is, they all get together. They figure out Raccoon City's getting nuked tomorrow, and that's before Nemesis finds them.
Wait, they knew that? I missed that part. I didn't know they knew that they were going to get blown up.
I think they knew they were going to get blown up.
You're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a helicopter. They were going to a helicopter that Dr. Ashford told them to go to, and that's where they ran into the trap where Nemesis was. We just had to get there in a backwards way.
Right, and they had to fight the biker gang.
So, yeah, Alice refuses to kill Nemesis, then Nemesis refuses to kill Alice. And Raccoon City eventually gets nuked. It gets covered up as a meltdown disaster. Then Alice is in an Umbrella facility and she is awakened. She remembers everything, and I don't think she was supposed to. It like was kind of phasing, like she was like remembering things. So anyways, she violently attacks everyone on her way out. The crew picks her up in disguises. Then the Umbrella guy says, he goes over the intercom, he says, "Let him go." And then they exit, and then in the cheesiest fashion, he's like, "Program Alice activated." And then that's the end of the movie.
It shows Alice's POV.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like
She's
see.
the program now. So that was a bit of a convoluted description. Go ahead, Quinn.
Just my two, like before I forget them, the first bad thing I thought about this movie is some of the physics in the scenes.
Yeah.
And the guy jumps out of the helicopter,
Dude.
just straight jumps out.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
somehow they like just stop
Yeah,
him midair
right, yeah.
before he hits the ground. 'cause, like,
Amazing.
his
Um,
body would be crumbling. He would
Yeah.
have broken all of his limbs.
Also, anytime Alice jumps through the air or from an explosion or something, the weirdest movements going on. I cannot. It's like you can almost see her being levitated. And then I think
Mhm.
the worst offender was there was a scene with Nemesis where I swear to God, Nemesis just lifts up off the ground without like any movement. He just like levitates
Just
upwards.
floats.
And it's in a way you could say, well, this is kind of like old video games,
Right.
you know? So
Mhm.
like they were,
Yeah.
maybe it was intentional. Like let's make it look more like the game.
I mean, maybe they had her running down the side of a building. I started to
Oh
laugh.
yeah, that one.
I was dying laughing. I
It's
was like,
littered
what is
with like
this?
really bad, like, you know, maybe they're just really reaching for it and they didn't really have the budget to cover those things.
I don't know.
Um,
But we know the hero is gonna beat up all the bad guys, so it kind of doesn't really matter if you think about it.
yeah, did a lot of the stuff in this movie matter?
No.
I guess if we're okay, Jill is like
Mhm.
the most video game character. She's so like, it's like they're like, okay, let's make her look exactly like a video game character, and she's also gonna kind of act like an NPC in a video game. She has like the weirdest. I just got that immediate vibe from her.
This is Jill you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I was reading a little bit after I watched this movie that apparently she like studied Jill Valentine's movement in the video
Oh my
games to
God.
more properly mimic her.
Well, I guess that's kind of cool because I was like literally like, what? Why is she such a video game character? And partially the outfit too, probably, but like it just felt like she was like a video game character. She's like studying PS1 movements. She's like, she's like, I went back to the original Resident Evil to really understand.
That's commitment.
It's
Yeah.
one scene she's just stuck on a wall.
Does that count as method acting?
It should.
Only if she's walking like that between the shots.
Yeah. While we're talking about the characters, LJ, he was like, I think he was supposed to be the comic relief,
Yeah.
and like, it just didn't seem to make any sense with any of the scenes where he was just like what the? It's like he's just force fit into all these scenes where it's like, okay, let's make this dumb joke right here, and
Right.
it's so dumb. Like
Where
where
Nemesis like killed
Yeah.
him, killed
Yeah.
everybody around him.
yeah, and then he's like no threat, and it's just like, okay, sure.
He drops his guns.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense because I mean, it seems like the people controlling Nemesis were just trying to kill the Umbrella Corporation operatives.
So you're on their side. It sounds like you're on their side, Kudrow.
I mean, honestly, if you want my opinion on this film franchise, I'm on the Red Queen side. The first movie, she was right all along.
Cujo's like, kill them all. Their waste.
Hey, if the Red Queen had won, the second movie wouldn't have happened. The zombie apocalypse wouldn't have happened. World be a much. I mean, sure, the world has like a few hundred people less, not in it, but at least it's not like apocalyptic level event.
It's
Throwing
true.
that out there.
So I guess the story just didn't feel very interesting. It's kind of it's so boring. And then all the stuff you were saying, Quinn, about like the bad like action scenes, I guess you'd call it. Like, dude,
Why are they all wearing bike helmets?
okay?
They're motorcycle helmets.
Okay, remember the explosion scene where she runs out. Okay, the one where she lights the match and throws it through, and then the glass
yeah.
breaks and it goes inside. And then she turns around with a fire blanket. A massive explosion
Right.
just doesn't do anything. Like you forgot about like the explosion forces.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
There shouldn't
Oh,
have been
no.
an explosion at all. If the room isn't going to fill with gas that
That's
quickly. and
also
especially
true,
not
Kudrow.
that much.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
What was the other one where she dropped her gun and then she somehow fell faster than her gun
Yeah. What?
and
Why?
then shot?
What is that?
Like, how do you fall? Like, what?
Yeah. No. And then she killed somebody through a camera.
Oh
She
yeah,
used her
at the
mind.
she
Her
did.
mind.
Why?
I don't know. She
Might have been
somehow
her nemesis powers.
That's like the Star Wars thing where Leia goes out into space. Like, why did you need to do that? Like, like
Oh,
just
that's hilarious.
unnecessarily like breaking logic, like within the I just
Well, it is zombies, so
Well, I'd say that's
um,
that's not. One thing that kind of bothered me with the zombies wasn't it like explained in the first movie that the T virus only reanimates recently dead bodies?
the cemetery.
Yeah. Somehow you have the long dead now coming back
Yeah,
to
I
life.
got that on my list too. Like, what? All of a sudden they're in the
that's a big
cemetery.
plot hole.
Yeah, Kudra, I have the same one. I'm like, wait, why? How are these people coming up out of the cemetery? Another thing is, how long does it take? Like, it seems like there's a wide variance for how quickly people turn into zombies. Which I guess some variance, but it seems like the first movie we had that Michelle Rodriguez just going the whole movie bit,
Right.
and then this one I feel like people were like they had some instant turners. It was like right away.
Maybe the
Wait.
virus was evolving.
Wait, what instant ones were there? Because like the two people, the one person that we saw turn into a zombie, one of them was the Jill's friend. I don't remember his name.
Oh, the other okay.
The cop.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
turned. Wasn't that pretty quick though?
I mean, you kind of had like he got bit at the
Police
quarantine
station.
zone,
Yeah.
and then it seemed like it took
All right.
what halfway through the movie before he
I
turned?
guess was it that long? I guess there was some time. All right, I take it back. I retract my problem.
We shouldn't
And
be
then-
defending this movie.
It's kind of hard to, but
Sorry, so I forgot to say there was the fire blanket that protected them from the explosion, and the whole
Mhm.
question of the explosion scene, which still there's like 10 things in that scene that probably don't make sense. The next one though, when she escapes and then she jumps into a garbage bin, a plastic garbage bin, and that protects her from another. Wasn't it like a rocket or something? And the plastic,
shot by Nemesis.
the rocket, she hit in a plastic trash bin and it protected her from the rocket.
It's a strong trash
I
bin.
guess so. I just I feel like that stuff really it was like you said when you were laughing at one point. Like it's so bad it like takes you out of the whole movie. And I feel like every running, jumping type of action scene had like that same tinge to it of what is wrong here? This doesn't look right.
I don't know. It just felt like she's not going to die. There was no excitement. You always know that she's going to survive.
And gets much more cemented with every further movie that's to come when she literally just brawls with Nemesis and wins.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
So, but I think if you could know she was going to win all the time, but then it would have to be like cool action, right? John Wick's going to win. It's like, well, they have if you're watching John Wick 1 and they have John Wick 2, 3, and 4, you're like, I bet John Wick doesn't get killed in this movie. So, but you could say if that's cool action, like I feel like you can know they're going to be, as long as it's cool. But this one, this one falls flat in like that category too. And then the story is like lame and boring. So it's like a cascading, it's a stacking effect.
I'm almost offended you mentioned John Wick in the same breath
Yeah,
that we're talking about this movie.
But I'm putting that out as a good where like any time where like movies where there's like 5 sequels, you're like, I bet this guy's going to survive.
I would argue that even though you know that they're going to make it through, the movie's able to make you believe on some level that there's a chance. That's why they're good.
Yeah, there's still something like, dramatic tension that should be in a scene that is largely not there for this movie.
Do you think the beginning where there was so much dispersed things happening that they were trying to like tell too many stories at one time?
Yeah.
I don't like in a way that thing works for like a TV show where it's longer and more drawn out. But in this movie, it kind of felt like they had all these separate stories going on and they just kind of converged. And there's probably a way to do that, but it just didn't feel engaging. And I felt like I just got more lost than I did intrigued.
I agree with that.
But it's like, I almost feel like the production quality went down from the first movie to this movie, or they just tried to put a lot more action scenes in it. And like they did, that's the only thing I don't.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like to me. Like the first movie felt like it had some horror elements. This one just really, I feel like leaned more into the action.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the scariest, and not even the scariest, but the most horror was the kid in the classroom. I thought that was decently
Yeah, I'd agree
creepy.
with that.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, we saw the dogs before. Nothing really changed with those.
Yeah.
And they were incorporated very heavily into the action. So other than the kids, for me, that was the creepiest part. But
all right. So
I suppose the only other thing, I mean, since we brought him up a couple times, I will compliment the Nemesis costume.
yeah. Kudrow's kudos. Is that your Kudrow's kudos?
Yeah, Kudrow's kudos.
Yeah, I will compliment the Nemesis costume. I mean, I'm not even a fan of the games, but I felt like that was replicated pretty well.
You're right. That is better than any of the other monsters. Like the CGI looking one's pretty bad.
Yeah, it looks like they slapped a sticker on the screen when that thing comes on.
All right. Is anybody ready to give the first ranking?
Yeah, I got to make sure I rank it below the first one.
The first Resident Evil we had ranked as a group at a D.
I don't remember if you ranked it as a D plus or a D though, Glenn. Let me take a look. Let me see. Are you ranked it as a D plus, Quinn?
All right, I got wiggle room.
I actually.
We got three more.
There's six.
For us all.
There's 6 in total. So
5 more.
Oh,
4
dear
more.
God.
4 more.
4 more.
I understand.
Man,
They only
spaces are-
it only goes down from here. So
That's what I'm saying.
No, this is the bottom. I'm confident this is the bottom. Bet.
I wish I could believe you, but I just don't.
I'll give you one more movie, Colton, to prove.
I'm pretty sure that the third one is better than this one.
It can't be. Well, no, it probably could be worse.
I guess to me, I feel like I said earlier, it's like a stacking of bad things. Like there's no tension. Like you know she's gonna win. The action is so bad. It's like jarring how off it feels when you start to watch these action scenes, and it really pulls you out of it being any sort of cool. And then the story, I feel like, is not interesting, and the way it's all told at the beginning, it seems to like just spread out too far, maybe. So I think I gotta give this movie an E. It's really just that I can't think of anything really redeeming about it. I gotta go with an E.
I agree. I was also thinking E. There's no F plus, is there?
No, it's like I don't think it deserves that. I deserve to put it in an F. Like it feels like above an F, but it's like really bad, but not like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I agree with that characterization.
Yeah, it still isn't as bad as some of the things we've watched on Ranking a Cage.
Wow.
Keep it in the segment, Kudrow.
Yeah. What's your rating, hater?
I think I was considering an F, but I think I'll also go an E.
What made you change your mind?
The fact that I could actually give it a kudos at all.
Told you. I knew it.
All right, let's pull this up here and let's
Triple
go
E.
ahead. Let's get rid of this graphic that's in my way. Thank you. All right, so see what we got here. So so we're all in agreement that it goes in the E tier.
Yeah.
So currently our E tier goes Final Fantasy Spirits Within, Tomb Raider Cradle of Life, and Double Dragon. So I think, if you ask me, this movie's better than Double Dragon.
I disagree. I think I had more fun with Double Dragon.
All right.
than
Double
this.
Dragon was pretty
All
fun.
right, Quinn, it's up to you then. Do you think this goes above or below Double Dragon?
Which way is below? Left, right?
Yeah, like does it go a higher rank would be further left?
A higher rank would be further left.
Yeah, so I think
Well, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy was bad.
it was. I think guys, should we put Final Fantasy Spirits Within in the F tier? Did we make a mistake?
We can't.
No, we did not. Okay. Am I being provoked? I feel like I'm being provoked.
Yeah. All right.
No,
so
I'm just thinking about watching it. And I'm trying to compare it to this. It's not good.
so this is Kudrow's magnum
All right.
opus is
I
Final
don't think it's
Fantasy
better
movie.
than Double
Oh,
Dragon.
okay,
All right.
that's an exaggeration.
I think. All right, so it sounds like Resident Evil is going to sit at the bottom of the E tier currently. It's sad to see where our E tier is in this current state, but yeah. So Resident Evil Apocalypse gets an E.
Yeah, they failed.
Yeah. All right. Stop sharing
How much
that.
money did they make though?
Ooh, that's a great question. We should include that stat.
Yeah, that's a good question.
What place has that? Does IMDb have that?
I don't know. I just did
You can
Resident.
usually get it just at
I got
Wikipedia.
51
Let me see.
million domestic.
How much did the first movie get?
I think overall, so I had a box office of 129.3 million to a budget of 45.
Worldwide. It did better internationally than it did domestically. By what? 15% probably.
Gotcha. Well, there you go. Any other I watched the movie Ender's Game. That movie is terrible. It's like a child soldier, and they never once in the movie explain why they have child soldiers, but like they're like top ace pilots to fight the aliens are all like 11-year-olds.
Right.
I don't know why. That alone, just the movie
We
was
can always make
egregious.
new ones.
Movie was egregious. I give it an F.
Oh,
Yeah. It might deserve an E, but I won't have it. I can't.
Oh.
Like
I'd probably say John Wick 4 if I had to give it a grade. Probably definitely deserves an A.
okay.
that's good.
Better than the previous John Wick movies, same or worse?
Moving up to A plus, I think John Wick 4 might be the best among them.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Funny enough, though, I'm still not even sure that was the best movie I watched this week.
What's the other one?
On a whim, I watched Disney and Pixar's Soul.
That's a good movie.
Which
Soul
was it?
like Sun?
Huh?
No, SOUL.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Soul like okay.
Which was actually spectacular.
That was a
that
good
new?
movie.
I've never heard
2
of
years
it.
ago.
Gotcha.
It's newer, I would say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I had not heard of that.
You should
No,
watch it. It's really good.
That's really good. Like that's an S.
Okay. All right, I'll consider. Is it streaming anywhere?
Disney Plus.
Oh.
I mean, it's a Disney Pixar film. Where else would
do
it
you
be
guys
streaming?
ever like take stances on stuff and then like not for any particular reason, but like then you just kind of have to live on that hill for a while? No?
No.
Okay, so
Was it-
we okay, so
Give us an example, please.
for the longest time my wife and I did not have a toaster. And
Oh God, this argument.
and I just like, I don't know. One time she said something about a toaster. I'm like, toasters are fucking dumb. I don't need a toaster.
Damn.
And like, not for any reason, just because we didn't have one. And I don't know. I was just being I was just fucking around. We could have got a toaster, but it became like a thing where I was like, do we really need a toaster? And for like 3 years, we just didn't have a toaster. Yeah, we have a toaster now. It works pretty good for stuff. But
is it a vertical toaster?
yeah,
Or is
before
it
I
a
was
toaster oven?
it's a vertical toaster. So before I would use the oven on broil to toast bread, which is actually great. It just takes a while. But no, so like I feel the same thing about Disney Plus. Like, Disney Plus came out, I'm like, I don't need that shit. And then now it's just become a thing where one time she said, but you don't want Disney Plus. I'm like, you're right, I don't want Disney Plus. And then
You're conditioned.
then we just didn't get it. And then it's kind of a thing where it's like I deal with all of our like streaming services. So I'm like, go ahead and get Disney Plus. And so it's not even like a thing of I don't want it. I just haven't done it. And it's like I'm already on this hill. So
Right.
I guess I'll stay strong on this hill.
You have like an unspoken principle.
That's
Of, like-
spoken. It's directly spoken.
This just
Well-
like with your hill metaphor, just feels like this is the hill I'm going to die on for completely arbitrary reasons.
Right.
But it's kind
That's
of
what
like
I meant.
you kind of like have a fun time with it though. The toaster thing was pretty fun after a while. You know, like you could just come up with reasons why toasters are bad. It's like an exercise.
Yeah. At a certain point, this
You guys just don't
At
understand.
a certain point,
I,
it's
we
just
don't get it.
it's less a stance and more of an inside joke.
Kind of, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Actually, so with the Switch, before I bought the first Switch, every time we
Come
go to
with
the
the
store,
toaster.
I'd be like, should we get a Switch today? And then one time we just did. One time we're like, yeah, we just bought one that day. Cause I had like toyed with the idea of a Switch for a long time. I knew I wanted one and I knew I wanted to play Zelda, but I hadn't like done it. And then like, I don't know, 2018, 2017, one of those years, we just eventually after like the 20th time, we just literally bought one that day.
Now it's changed Jessica's life.
I mean, yeah, she has played a lot of Zelda.
A thousand hours of Zelda later.
Zelda
That's
and
probably
Animal-
not even counting her couple hundred hours of Animal Crossing before then.
Well, that's not our shame on here, okay? Some of us have put a lot of hours into a lot of different games. You know,
Hey, I'm not
Some of
hour
them
shaming. I'm just
backlogs.
making an observation.
Oh, I found the first Resident Evil box office. 300 million.
Oh, so it kicked the shit out of Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Yeah, it made 240 international. For some
Wow.
reason, it's a very popular international office.
I mean, I think it's a substantially better movie,
hmm
like the first one compared to the second one. So
Wait,
it makes
it's
sense.
Afterlife, right?
No, Afterlife's one of the newer ones.
Oh, then
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
that's
okay.
the wrong one.
I
What?
think we're in for a real treat on the next one, Quinn. I think 3 is significantly better than 2.
Oh, one got 102
No, gotcha.
million.
Okay.
So a lot less than
Yeah.
we thought. Sorry, I
Probably
apologize.
probably a much lower budget though,
Fake
right?
news. 33 mil
Oh, okay.
versus 45.
Oh, so not like
No, not terribly different.
oh,
But
also,
they did do
so,
substantially better.
so we will not be doing a ranking of next week, right?
You guys can go on without me.
No, that's all right. We'll rank something else next week, or I don't know.
Well,
I'll come on and talk.
Mario's
some bullshit.
coming. Mario's coming out soon, but we gotta wait for that one, right?
Yeah, we'll wait for. I'm gonna go see it because I'm going with some friends, and I think they already got the tickets. I think I'm going like the Thursday, maybe. It comes out on like a Wednesday. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Wednesday the 5th. So
I'll probably go see it on Thursday. Honestly,
Yeah. So
I'll
maybe.
have to watch it when I get back.
Yeah. So ranking of episodes, we'll take a break for 2 weeks, and then I'll definitely come on. We'll be on here something at 9 o'clock next week. I don't know what it'll be. I wish I had an interesting idea right now.
We could play what's it called? Deep Rock Galactic.
But I gotta play Persona.
Stream Persona, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I wanted to go watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie too, but I'm going to watch that when I get back too.
Oh
When's
yeah.
that out?
Today, I think.
Oh,
There's a theater by me that does like meals and drinks. So I might have to go check it out. Maybe I'll go to some movies there. I do kind of want to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
like what do you mean by meals and drinks?
Like you can order food and drinks, like
Right,
restaurant
gotcha.
food.
Like pizza.
Yeah, more than just like movie snacks, and they have
Right,
like
right.
beers and stuff.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna have to check that place out. But yeah, I do want to see that Dungeons and Dragons movie.
It's certified fresh,
Certified fresh.
89% right now,
If I go
with
see
a
it,
good audience score.
I'll talk about it next week if I go see it.
That
I
means it's
genuinely
actually
hope it's
good. The critics and the audience are in agreement.
Nice.
It's a good sign. All right. Well,
I think we're
anything
good.
else?
I don't think so. We will catch the S Rank Media Club every Thursday at 9. No ranking of next week. It'll probably be exciting though, because it always is. All right.